2026 is a year you get healthy, for real. Not to hit a goal, not to quit later, but to stay healthy for life. That one shift changes how you start, what habits you choose, and whether this finally sticks. Let me show you how to do it right. Now, before we get into the how, there's one thing that has to happen first. You need to make a decision. Not next Monday, not after the next holiday or birthday, right now. No more back and forth, no more on again, off again health phases. Say it with me, this year is my year. 2026 starts the rest of my life. Decide that 2026 isn't the year you try again. It's the year your health becomes part of your life. Because here's the truth, the path to wellness isn't a straight line. It's messy, it has detours, busy seasons, setbacks, and restarts. And that's totally normal. That's life. You don't need perfection. You need the commitment. A commitment to stop cycling and start building something that actually lasts. And you will likely have to make choices that might feel a little different than the people around you. Choosing dumbbells over drinks, meal prepping over Netflix binging, going to bed early when everyone else is doom scrolling, setting the tone for yourself and for your life. The world might think you're weird. Let them. Because while they're stuck in the same cycle, you'll be building a life that actually feels good. And here's what makes this stick long-term: identity. When something becomes part of who you are, it stops feeling optional. Runners run, yogis practice yoga. Healthy people make health-supportive choices, not perfectly, but consistently, because that's who they are. So decide now, who are you becoming in 2026? Because this isn't about a reset. This is about building a life you don't need a break from.
The world belongs to optimists. Because if you're going to do anything big, you have to believe that it can happen. Otherwise, it never will.
Now, let's talk about how to make that happen. All right, now that you have made the decision and you are in, let's talk about what your body actually needs. If you're starting your health journey today, or if you're 2 weeks in, the thing you need to focus on is protein and fiber. These two things are incredibly impactful and they change the way you feel and function, and most people aren't getting enough of either. Now, why protein? It keeps you full, it helps build and maintain muscle, stabilizes your blood sugar, and gives you sustained energy throughout the day. You want to aim for around 25 to 30 grams per meal. That's a chicken breast, a cup of Greek yogurt, or a good-sized piece of fish or tofu. Make sure every meal has a solid protein source. Plus, getting enough protein is key for longevity, muscle building, basically all the things. Now for fiber, it supports digestion, keeps you satisfied, feeds your gut bacteria, and helps regulate blood sugar. And most Americans get less than half the daily fiber they really need. You should be aiming for around 25 to 30 grams per day from whole foods like fruits, vegetables, beans, whole grains. And one of the best ways to hit both of these targets, my favorite tip, is to plus up your meals with fiber sources. Add black beans to turkey tacos. Toss roasted chickpeas on your salad for a little crunch. Try lentils for plant-based protein and iron in my vegetarian Crunch Wrap Supreme. It is so good. I have a whole video on how to make that one. I'm gonna drop the link below. When you prioritize your protein and fiber, the rest, as in calories and the other macros, tend to fall into place. That's not to say you might need to make a few tweaks, but this is the best starting point. And if you want a short-term awareness boost, try tracking your protein and fiber for 1 week to see where you are and where you might need to add. This brings awareness and helps you hit your goals. Now, you can have the knowledge, the numbers, the best intentions, but without a system, real life can take over. And that's how you end up exhausted at 7 p.m., staring into the fridge, defaulting to takeout, whatever's easiest. So let's fix that so healthy actually happens. Okay, here's the truth that nobody really wants to hear. 90% of eating well comes down to planning and prepping. Not willpower, not motivation, planning and the discipline to do it. I cannot tell you how many times clients come to me saying they just can't stick to healthy eating. And within 5 minutes of meeting with them, I realize they're not planning their meals, they're not prepping anything in advance. They're winging it every single day and just hoping they'll make good choices when they're starving at 6 p.m. And that almost never works. This is the key to the shift that I mentioned at the beginning, meal planning and prep. In my years as a dietitian, this single habit really determines everything. Because when you have healthy food planned and ready to go, you're not relying on willpower, you are set up to win. And when you don't have a plan, you're winging it, and winging it just never works. Here's exactly what you should do. Every Sunday, or whatever day works for you, spend 15 to 20 minutes planning out your meals for the week. That's less than the time of a single TV show. Don't give your health to a flashy box. Make a detailed grocery list based on that plan. Prep 2 to 3 foundational components that make weeknight cooking easier. So here's what to prep. A big old batch of grains, whether that's rice, quinoa, or one of my favorites, farro. Roast up some veggies, sweet potato, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, whatever you like. Roast them up so you can just reheat them later for dinner during the week or throw them into your lunch container. And prep a protein or two. Grill up some chicken, hard-boiled eggs. I throw mine in the air fryer and there's no water and no mess. It's so easy. Or cook lentils or beans so you have them throughout the week. One of my other favorites, wash up and chop your veggies for snacking and for easily throwing them into other meals. Make some overnight oats or egg bites for grab-and-go breakfast. Here's what this does. It removes the decision fatigue. You know that feeling where you're like, I just cannot make any more decisions today? You're not standing in front of your fridge at 7 p.m., exhausted trying to figure out what to eat. You're not ordering takeout because there's nothing to eat. You already have healthy, delicious components ready to throw together. And listen, you don't have to meal prep like those Instagram influencers with 47 perfect matching containers. My Tupperware is mismatched and it works just fine. You just need a few building blocks that make your week easier. Here's your meal planning strategy. Plan 4 to 5 dinners, not 7. We need to be realistic here. And write it down. Put it on your whiteboard or your chalkboard or in an old school planner like I do. And keep track of it so that next month you can look back on what you planned for this month and help your future self out. And then build in 1 to 2 leftover nights to make your life easier. And always have a backup meal in the freezer for chaotic weeks. Keep it simple. Rotate 10 to 12 of your favorite meals instead of trying to come up with new recipes every single week. One of my favorite tools for this is my meal planning app. It helps you plan, it generates grocery lists, and takes all the guesswork out. I've got more details on that in a minute, so stay tuned. But here's the bottom line. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. This one habit, spending a little time on Sunday prepping, will change your entire week. It's honestly the difference maker I see with my most successful clients. And hey, real quick, hit that subscribe button so you do not miss what is coming next. I have a huge lineup of videos coming out this year. I cannot wait to share with you, and I truly appreciate all of your support. Find movement you actually enjoy and do it often. Exercise is a piece of the health puzzle we cannot ignore. We are so sedentary in our work and our general lives now that movement in some form, it needs to happen. So here's what you need to do. Experiment until you find movement that you genuinely like, and then do it as often as possible. You don't have to love running. You don't have to join CrossFit or do Pilates unless you like them. You just need to move in a way that feels good to you.
The illusion is that the finish line is the destination, but the act itself is the destination.
Maybe that's hiking with friends. Maybe that's swimming. Maybe it's lifting weights. Maybe it's jujitsu, playing pickleball, doing yoga, or doing YouTube workouts in your basement. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you actually do it. Because here's the truth. The best workout is the one that you will stick with. I don't care if it's optimal according to some fitness influencer. If you hate it and you do it 3 times and never again, it's not gonna work. If you won't do it long term, that means it's not working for you. So try things. Take a class you've never tried. Go to that beginner session. Walk trails you've never explored. Find your thing and then make it a non-negotiable part of your week. Now, I often get asked what I do for exercise, and that has looked different in different phases of my life. Right now, I'm focused on strength training, trying to get that in 4 times a week, plus some running and daily walks. I'm building those in, squeezing them in. Devin, I, and Maple walk out the door when I've got a break in my schedule, and we do a neighborhood walk at least once daily. Sometimes, if we're lucky, we'll get it in twice. And the beauty of it, we get some vitamin D too. Find what works for you and your life and what you'll actually look forward to doing. Now, before we keep going, I need to warn you about something that could sabotage everything we just talked about. Let me be blunt. If a supplement promises rapid weight loss, instant energy, or miraculous results from their secret blend, run the other way. They're usually too good to be true because they are too good to be true. I see this all the time. Clients come to me after spending hundreds of dollars on supplements that didn't work, or worse, made them feel awful. The supplement industry is largely unregulated, and many products contain fillers, even contaminants, or don't contain what they claim on the label. And let's be honest, if they actually did what they claimed, the company that created it would be wealthy beyond belief and everyone would be buying it. It wouldn't be a secret that only a few knew to unlock their health. What you actually need, focus on food first. Get your nutrients from whole foods as much as possible. If you need a supplement like vitamin D in the winter, B12 if you're plant-based, or iron if you're deficient, work with your doctor or dietitian to choose quality brands that are third-party tested. Otherwise, save your money and put it toward quality groceries instead. That is where the real magic happens. All right, supplements are covered. Now let's talk about that habit that makes all of this actually work. We've talked about protein, fiber, and fitness, but here's the thing that ties them all together in a nice little bow. And I will say it louder for the people in the back. Consistency is everything. You don't need to be perfect. What you need is to show up consistently even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Think of it like this: working out intensely for 2 weeks and then quitting gets you nowhere, but walking 20 minutes 5 days a week for 6 months, that changes your life. Eating healthy Monday through Wednesday and then having one indulgent meal and giving up, minimal impact. But consistently making good choices most days, even if some days are messier than others, that's where real progress happens. This is where truly believing in your new identity plays such an important role. Runners run and bodybuilders lift weights. Healthy people do the things consistently and without excuses. And consistency doesn't mean eating the same way every single day. It means your habits can survive real life. Those dinners out, holidays, travel, busy weeks, and seasons where you're just doing your best to survive. Healthy people don't fall off track and then get back on. They adjust and just keep going. So here's your challenge. Pick one thing you can do consistently for the next 30 days. Just one. Maybe it's eating a protein-packed breakfast, or drinking 64 ounces of water a day, or moving for just 15 minutes every single day. Master that one thing and then build from there. And speaking of doing things consistently, there's one thing your body needs every single day that most people are getting completely wrong. And while we're talking consistency, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a video. Now let's talk about it. Water is so simple, we tend to overlook it, but it's so crucial for literally everything your body does. You need to make hydration a top priority. Most people are walking around mildly dehydrated and don't even realize it's why they feel sluggish, have headaches, or don't have focus, or have some digestion issues. So here's your hydration strategy. Start your morning with 8 to 16 ounces of water before you have your coffee. Keep a water bottle with you all the time. Drag it with you to dropping kids off at school, to work meetings, everywhere. Then you've always got water. And for amounts, aim for half your body weight in ounces per day. Add electrolytes only if you are super active and sweating a lot or you're sick. Otherwise, we really don't need those electrolytes. They add artificial sweeteners or extra sugar and sodium that we really don't need. If you really want flavor in your water, add some sliced fruit, some strawberries, oranges, if plain just isn't your thing. Try hydrating properly for 1 whole week and tell me you don't feel better. I'll wait for your comments below. And our proper hydration is so critical for helping speed up recovery after the consistent movement you're gonna start working into your day. Now, hydration is critical, but here's a mindset shift that it's even more powerful. In 2026, we are going to focus on adding instead of subtracting. Instead of focusing on what you can't eat, focus on what you can add. Stop thinking, I need to cut out carbs. Think, how can I add more veggies to this meal? Stop thinking, oh, I can't have dessert. Instead, think, what can I add to my meals to make them more satisfying so I'm not craving dessert every single night? Here's adding versus restricting. Add a side of roasted veggies to dinner. Add a piece of fruit to your afternoon snack. Add a 10-minute walk to your morning routine. Add one strength training session to your week. Add daily counter push-ups while you're making dinner. When you focus on adding good things, the less healthy habits start to naturally fade without you feeling deprived. It is a much more sustainable approach, and it actually works long term. And this approach focuses on the positive. So many times we get caught in the trap of, I didn't do this, I failed at that. Instead, let's celebrate what you did do. I added veggies to 3 meals this week. I drank 64 ounces of water 4 days in a row. That positive momentum is what keeps us going. Now, here's one thing that'll tank your progress faster than anything else, and it's something most people don't prioritize enough. Sleep and stress. If you're not sleeping well or you are chronically stressed, your hunger cues are going to be louder, your energy lower, and consistency feels 10 times harder. That's not a discipline issue, that's biology. Poor sleep and high stress increase our hunger hormones, they reduce our satiety, and make quick, convenient foods way more appealing. And depending on your life stage, busy parenthood, perimenopause, high demand work seasons, your body may need more recovery than it used to. And sleep isn't lazy, stress management isn't optional. They're both part of getting healthy. Here are my favorite tips to help manage both. Create a realistic bedtime routine you can stick to most nights. Put your darn phone away. Put it in another room. I keep mine in my bathroom, so it's not even an option to doom scroll at night. The blue light from that screen messes with our sleep. Research shows that. Limit caffeine earlier in the afternoon. No more 4 p.m. coffees. They're going to impact your sleep. And build small stress releases into your day. Walking is one of my favorite ones. Deep breathing. It makes you feel better instantly. Quiet time, movement you enjoy. All right, so we've covered a lot. Next is where it gets really practical. Small changes create big results. Start where you are. This is where the magic happens. Small, sustainable changes that you can actually maintain. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Pick small, strategic changes that fit into your routine. At work, use a standing desk for part of the day. Take the stairs instead of the elevator or park further away in the parking lot. Walk during phone calls or meetings whenever you can. And bonus if a coworker has a walking pad and the two of you can walk on your walking pads while you Zoom. Set a timer to stand and stretch every hour. With food, bring lunch to work 3 days a week instead of eating out every day. Move dessert to 1 to 2 times a week instead of 5 to 7 times. Prep veggies on Sunday so they are ready to grab and go. Keep healthy snacks at your desk so you're not tempted by the vending machine. With movement, use that walking pad while you're watching TV. Do 10 air squats before your morning coffee, or take a 10-minute walk after dinner. These aren't dramatic, they're maybe not Instagram worthy, but stack them up over weeks and months, and that's how you transform your health without burning out. So here's your action step. Pick 2 items from this list that you can start this week. Write them down and do them. That's it. Track your progress, but not just the scale. When I say track your progress, I mean the full picture. The scale is one data point, but it's not the whole story. It doesn't tell that you're sleeping better, that you have more energy, that your clothes fit better, or that you can run up the stairs without getting winded, or that the pain in your knees has let up. What you should track instead, how you feel day to day, energy, mood, digestion, physical performance. Keep track of this. This is what motivates us and keeps us going. Can you do more push-ups? Walk further, lift heavier. Track your sleep quality, how your clothes fit. Consistency, track that consistency. How many days this week did you hit your goals? And non-scale victories. Less joint pain, better focus, clearer skin. Progress isn't always linear and it doesn't always show up on the scale, The path to health is not a straight line, it's more of a winding road, so pay attention to all the ways your body is improving to keep you riding this road. Build a support system. Here is what I know to be true. People who have support are way more likely to succeed than people who try to do it alone. If you're getting healthy in 2026, for life, you need to build your team. An accountability partner to check in with weekly. A community, online or in person, of people with similar goals. A professional if needed, a dietitian, personal trainer, therapist, friends and family who support your goals. Share your goals, ask for help, join a class, find your people. And listen, I want to be part of your support system this year. Here's how I can help you in 2026. If you want a complete meal planning system that does the heavy lifting for you, plans your meals, generates shopping lists, and tracks your progress, check out my meal planning app. I just opened it up for new clients this January, and spots are filling up fast. The link is down in the description. I would love to help you. Pick what feels right for you where you are. Find that accountability. Either way, I'm here for you. I've got your back, and I'm here to support you. And that's everything you need. If you want to get healthy in 2026 for life, this is exactly what works. No gimmicks, no quick fixes, just practical strategies that stick. So here's your game plan. Pick 2 to 3 strategies from this video that resonated with you and start there. And if meal planning feels overwhelming, start small. Just plan 3 dinners this week or join my meal planning program for support. Build that momentum, stay consistent, and celebrate your wins. Remember what you decided at the beginning of this video? 2026 is your year. 2026 starts the rest of my life. You choose to be weird. You choose dumbbells over drinks. You choose yourself. And you decided who you are becoming. Become your new identity. You've got this, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. And if you want to continue with a motivation boost, check out my What's Holding You Back video right here. I'll help you break through whatever's been stopping you. And I will see you over there. Until then, eat well, be well, thrive. Now, why protein? It keeps you full. It helps build and maintain muscle, stabilizes your blood. Dang it.